Um, on that note, we can get started here past 9 now, but welcome to 1 million cups. If you're not expecting that, maybe go to the other classroom. But today we are here to drink 1 million cups and of of some inspiration from our other entrepreneur here to present their venture. So if you haven't already, like us and follow on social media so you get notified on the next presenter coming into the community. Um, or just mark your calendar every Wednesday. We are here. We haven't missed a single meeting since quarantine, which is amazing. So yeah, hats off to the volunteers. Um, and for everybody else showing up. This is amazing to have a consistent group every Wednesday. What are we about? We're here to share ideas, offer help, ask for help, build community, and support each other in our crazy lifestyle we decided to pick up on for ourselves. So yeah, we're here to really present and not just pitch an idea, but to really build a connection between the people here. And we're here for the community, by the community. We're also radically and intentionally inclusive um, to bring in many people from diverse areas and industries and backgrounds. We have 168 communities around the nation, 3,500 attendees, and 700 volunteers to put this on. It's pretty cool to know that this goes on across the country at 9 a.m. and uh, every morning seeking education, presentations, and connections. We had more than 8,000 entrepreneurs present their ideas on the stage. This is here at the collective in on Dexter in South Lake Union. Um, one day we'll be able to get back for the local Seattle people here. Um, and the question is, do you have all the answers and feel like you know exactly what you're doing? If not, you're it's okay. We are here to support us in that exploration. So thank you to our community sponsors, Seattle Strong, who provides the coffee in our in-person meetups, a small studio to sponsor our meetup page, as well as Human Up, who sponsors our email campaign service. And for our volunteers who are all on this call now. And we actually need to update that. We have a new volunteer, Tessa, as well. So welcome. And we're always looking for new volunteers as well. So, I honestly am so grateful for this community and was honored to be a volunteer, having been able to improve a lot of my own personal confidence and being able to, uh, you know, even be here and talk to everyone right now. A couple of years ago, I would have been so fearful about all of this. So um, this is a great place to practice the skills, any presentation skills, any business skills, organization skills. Um, and so we got lots of stuff working in the pipeline. So definitely let us know if you're interested to volunteer. What did we expect today? 6-minute presentation from our entrepreneur, 20-minute Q&A towards the end, and then connecting in breakout rooms afterwards as well. And so while you're listening, definitely keep track of any questions that you might have. Kind of pay attention to feedback that you um, might be able to provide. And in the 20-minute Q&A, we'll go through and provide um, some more feedback for them. So some suggestions or tips is to limit your distractions. I know being on a call, it's easy to feel like we can multitask. And but during the presentation, bring focus to their presentation. Look for what stands out. What do you want to learn more about? What can you get curious about? And how could you share your own expertise as well? So on Zoom, there's a participants feature, or there's a raise hand feature in the participants tab. That's how we'll keep track of asking questions. And yeah, so with that, we will introduce here Casey with Helm.
Woo! Thanks. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm based out of Salt Lake City, and I've been doing a 1 million cup spree lately. This is my 4th week in a row. So I've really appreciated all the feedback and networking I've got from this. It's been a really good outcome of this whole pandemic and changing to virtual. So I want to start out, quick question for everybody is, do you do outdoor sports that involve a helmet? And just raise your hand. We don't need to do an official survey. And then do you listen to music when you do that? Yeah, okay, cool. Well, we got a few of you at least. So I'm working on a project and I'm gonna switch my screen over now. And it's called Helm. Oh, can you enable the screen share for me? Okay. Okay, so this project is called Helm, and that's the name of the company. It's been around for about 2 years now, with the launch of a product earlier this year, and with the tagline of "Can you hear what's coming?" Listening to audio while participating in outdoor recreation activities is a realm that I found personally to not have a really good solution in. So that's where this project came from, and. Okay, so this is the current like audio stimulation space. We have everything from concerts all the way to total isolation in your own world. And like I said, one thing that I found that wasn't a good solution for is when you're recreating, you know, you're in a situation where you got a helmet on, so it's a little bit dangerous, but it's also fun. And so music goes really well with that. And there's not really a good solution on the market. And so that's where we come in, is having a near ear audio system. There are some other systems out there, but ours is unique in that it actually puts a speaker near your ear to add music in, like a background music to your environment without taking up any of your natural ear space. So this is our product right here. It's 2 pods, and they mount on any open ear helmet. And it's got a Bluetooth receiver there with the controls on it that you can customize where you want that at to have easiest access for your reach. And like I mentioned, safety is a big concern here. You know, can you hear who's coming, you know, right or approaching, or, you know, like yelling up to somebody, hey, wait up, and they can still hear you. You got wildlife awareness. You got all sorts of things coming up on moose or snakes, depending on where you're at. So you want to be aware of that kind of stuff. Group connection is important too. And, you know, all of this requires the right equipment. So, and communication, like I mentioned just a second ago, communication is really nice to be on a trail and out with some friends and you can just talk to them. And that our system gives you that ability where people don't even really know you're using it or listening to music, because you can just converse with them as if you're not. You don't have to pull an earbud out. You don't have to do anything extra. And flow being like when you get in the groove of being outdoors and cruising down a trail, you get the sense of like really immersing yourself in the environment. And the rhythm of music really helps do that. There's plenty of research, and I'm not even going to go into that right now, but it's that immersion and having an impact on your surroundings and having that audio stimulation of your impact is very a key aspect of you completing your senses. And of course, it's got to look cool. We're doing recreational activities. Things and trends change all the time. We've shaped it to match helmet designs. So you can see here on that one, it's got a structured shape. It's along with a lot of helmet geometries that exist right now. And the trends are changing a little bit, but that basic shape fits in with most of those trends. And you know, you can have your music too, and you can listen to whatever you want, so can everybody else. So you don't have that speaker that, you know, you're riding on the trail or something like that. So he's got a Bluetooth speaker on. It's like, oh, that's the worst music ever. Don't have to worry about that here. So this is Selling Helm version 1.0. We've done beta trials already. We did feedback from that. And this is our first release. We call that the beta. This is the version 1. And so this is an add to your existing helmet. It makes getting on going much easier. You don't have any other thing to do but put on your helmet and power it on. We're retailing for 150 bucks, and we found that price point to be reasonable. We do have, like I said, there are some competitors per se. The market's still forming in this area. Our competition is actually more expensive than we are. But this gives you an ear-facing speaker. It's nice because ours is straight above your ear, so it gives a loss of perception of where the music is actually coming from, which is great for keeping your focus on your existing surroundings and not encumbering that. And like I said, we have Bluetooth connectivity. We've done, as part of the beta testing, we did adjust the acoustics of it, and there are some acoustic design features in that pod to give better sound in there. And then the great thing too, phone call enabled. You can use your assistant or Siri and talk to the thing. You can send a text message while you're riding your bike. You can answer the phone and talk to people. And the noise cancellation tech that we have in there is so good, most people don't even know you're on your bike. So this is the result right here. You can see she's loving her ride. She's connected to the trail. She's focused on that. And she's got her music to really make that moment happen for her. Our successes so far, people love it. I've converted people from saying, I don't listen to music when I ride because of safety, or I just haven't thought of that, or like talk to other people, to how did I ever not have this? Like, why didn't I think of this? Where we're at right now. So we launched earlier this year. We have product in stock. Now,
Oh, we lost you.
to figure out how to do marketing on a bootstrap startup. So this is, it says my internet connection is unstable. Is that jerking around a little bit? Hope not.
You're good now.
Okay. So what we've got a mold shop here to develop tooling and do injection molding here in Ogden, Utah. And here in my place, we've got a lab here to do the assembly, including soldering together and bonding and packaging and shipping. So our last invite is join us, because your best ride is ahead. And you can follow us on social media, and we're even on Twitter and tweet every once in a while. Oh, and the one I haven't added here is Pinterest. I'm just getting that one going. So to go on to some questions I have. Like I mentioned before, we are a bootstrap startup, and we have customers that need education. And that has been very difficult in this situation, where when we originally launched, the idea was to do trailhead demos where people can actually try and touch the product out. That is just gone. Like, I mean, I've even tried setting up at some events where they're starting to allow stuff, and people are still very standoffish from approaching and getting that tactile feel. Once they do, they're in love with it, but that's very few and far between. We're also looking at how to attract some investment, because we've got very little traction. So having investment conversations is very difficult. And our conversion funnel, like I said, I'm great at building products. You know, I've got it here. It's ready to go. It's in a box. We've got all that designed. But getting that conversion funnel going, I've had some difficulties there. So I'm looking for people to help with that. Outdoor-minded marketing professionals. Sweat equity is an option. I just want to try to network out and meet people in this space. to really find out maybe somebody's been through something like this before or wants to go through something like this. So that's what I've got for you guys. I really appreciate your time.
All right. Awesome. Great looking product there. So as a reminder, go to participants tab to raise your hand if you have a question. Looks like we can start with Katie.
Oh my gosh, yay. This is so exciting. Congrats. I think you've been like, it's amazing how much work you've put in so far on this. And in responding to kind of your first ask about like, how do we really get this out there? Like, I wonder if this also combines with my question is, you say that I can hear my music or I can hear my phone call and I can hear another conversation. But I think that's the piece that you need to demo, right? Because it's like, how do I actually hear that? So I wonder if there's a way through sound mixing and video, you could do like a video demo that people could experience it, right? So I could experience like the sounds of the road noise. I could experience that I'm listening to my music, things like that.
Okay.
I have no idea how you do that, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's the idea I have.
I have a little bit of an idea. I just haven't been able to put it together in a point with the sound mixing that gets it right. But I do, if you go to our YouTube channel or on our Facebook and Instagram page, there is a little video there that kind of goes through the process of like putting on your helmet, riding on the trail. I've got a little shot like from looking down on the equipment while I'm adjusting it, and then cruising off into the sunset kind of thing. So I'd really love some feedback from people on that. And also one other invite would be to go to the website and like give me your perspective on that. Sign up for our contact info is on the website. It's soundhelmaudio@gmail.com. And any feedback on what your impressions of the website are would be extremely beneficial for us. And I'm going to, before we take the next question, I'm going to run through, I want to like preemptively tell you other questions that I've had asked a lot and that I've already thought of. So, so we can, I don't want to have to, that didn't come out very well, but we do have influencers and I'm working on an influencer program to provide a discount through them and a kickback to the influencer to help them be a marketing tool. I have given out units to them and it hasn't been that successful so far because I think that motivation has been lacking. I am in contact with bike shops to try to get it on the retail side. And Kickstarter campaign, we have not done yet, but I am looking at doing that this winter as the season kind of dies down a little bit. So those are the things that I've been asked before. So thank you.
Leif.
Hi, Casey. Hopefully my
Hi.
internet's going to work. Can you hear me successfully?
Yeah.
Okay. I might stop my video just to make it work better. So awesome presentation. I love your product. I'm a mountain biker. I go mountain biking pretty often, enough that I hurt my shoulder last week and I'm not for a while. And I was wondering about your, you said you're looking at bike shops. You're trying to get on bike shops. Are you actually on any bike shops floor right now?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think that, you still got all these great ideas and I'm wondering what are your, like what you could benefit from being at least on just one retailer. One retailer is a little bit more willing to try a new product out so they can start to give you that feedback really quickly with their customers of like, yeah, people will look at it, they'll read it and then they'll put it down, or they'll look at it, they'll say, what's the price? And then they'll say, oh, it's much, or whatever that customer feedback is. I bet you'll get a lot from just getting your very first retail placement. And
Okay.
yeah, I was just wondering. And also, what are your thoughts on Amazon?
That's intimidating for me. I went to a seminar a while ago, before lockdown stuff, and it sounded like the company I was talking with said it was about $1,000 a month to have them run the Amazon stuff for me. I'd feel pretty overwhelmed myself to be able to add that onto my plate, but I don't know what it's really entailed in running on Amazon. So anybody, do you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Other than I know that you want to have like you said, a lot of traction and a lot more momentum before you want to have them do all of your fulfillment. If you're doing your own fulfillment, it's way easier. Same thing with eBay, although eBay doesn't really have their own, like you have to establish product to sell successfully usually on there. And just one more thing to point out is you've of course seen the brand Helm Audio on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine that getting really confusing if people are like, oh yeah, look for Helm something on Amazon. I got one of these things, is awesome, and they look on Helm and they're like, I don't know if that looks right. So just something to be aware of if you're in this early stage and you see this product becoming big, is be really mindful of where that product goes. But I can't wait to try one of these someday. This is personally really cool for me.
All right, I can't wait for you to try it either. We've had some success with the Google search. At least if you look for sound Helm, we do come up above Helm Audio. That was there was a lot of that space being a little conflicting, and I can see that. Maybe we could go after our product name. Our product name is the Affix, and maybe we can go after that name a little more, because that's a little more separate from Helm Audio. So I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah.
Jolene.
This is super cool. Awesome presentation. From what I understand, I know a little bit of the bike industry from a sales input, but from what I understand, to get into bike shops, it's a heavy distributor relationship. I don't know if that's true for something like this, but it may be beneficial to try to find a distributor that already has the relationships with the bike shops to get them. Unfortunately, that person will cut into your profit. But also to the Amazon, I don't think you need anybody managing that for you. Yeah, so Katie may actually know more than I do about this, but you can do that yourself. And like, that's definitely something that you can do yourself. But distributor, somebody that already has a relationship with the bike shop actually may be able to get you in easier than you approaching the bike shops yourself. But if you're trying to get direct to consumer, that obviously is a tough one. I just know from a bike product that I know, they tried to go direct to consumer, and it was really hard.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. It's good to know that it was hard for somebody else too.
Tessa.
Hey, Casey. Thanks for showing us that. I was interested because I'm actually a snowboarder who has had a lot of frustration with sound. You get the helmets with the sound, like the ear thing's already in, but the sound quality is terrible and it involves a cord. And then if you get the Bluetooth one, it's whatever, it's a mission. So I had a bunch of questions about the product in relation to being a snowboarder. However, I'm going to skip all those because I want to say, I was going to say like the Oscar Wilde vibe of trying to get it to people, but Amazon's faster. Oscar Wilde were the glasses people who were like, here, try these on and then send them back. Like if it doesn't work for you or whatever. It's a little different, but like Amazon is essentially the same thing without having to do it independently. So that I was thinking maybe then snowboarding community, the snow season's coming up here in North America. And also snowboarding there, like Vail Resort, for example, owns a whole bunch of different places everywhere. They have stores obviously there. And also that community is very used to demoing. They demo their boards right there on the snow. That community is used to that vibe, and so they're not afraid to come up, and they're also quite reckless, so they're not that conscientious about things they can be. So maybe that's an avenue to go to start thinking about. I'm not sure if your product fits or has been thought to fit snowboarding helmets, but you said that there was a variety, so I'm not sure if that plugs and plays for you, but maybe just as a way of expanding your potential market and maybe getting traction in a slightly different one.
Okay. Uh, thanks for your comments. I feel your pain with the music and snowboard world, with the sound quality and the Bluetooth connection and all that kind of stuff. I know there's a product out there. I'm sure you know of it, but I think the general reviews on it are aligned with what you're saying. I do have that helmet's my snowboard helmet up there. So yeah, it's got the pouches inside and everything. As far as the snow sports model goes, I want to get working on that. I've been trying to get traction on this mountain biking one to help support the R&D for that one. There is some design changes to make for that, mainly the controls, to make it so that it's easy to control with gloves on or mittens. With the one we have right now, it's got some smaller buttons that are great for your fingers, but not so good for like this kind of action. So we do want to have that as an option, because I've heard the pain of, having to, depending on how the controls are, they have like top and bottom buttons and you're like smashing your ear all the time, and the thing's too thick and it rides against your ear and causes pain at the end of the day. So we have ways to address all those. So when I get working on that, I'm going to contact you and we'll have some more talking to do.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was already available. That would be, because the season's like right here. We've worked really well, but next season, yeah.
Well, I'll have some beta units this winter. So
Great.
I think we'll do beta trials this winter and then production for the following winter.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it looks like we've got a few people who would test that.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm a fellow snowboarder too. I would love that.
Cool.
Sheila.
Hi. Well, the thing I loved about your presentation most is your passion around biking out in nature. And it reminded me of someone else I know who's a bike shop owner influencer at a resort. And so it seems like that would be a really good target market, because resorts have a lot of transient traffic, and they have a lot of fans who follow, at any time of year because they wish they were there. So it'd be really handy to have some kind of pre-made introductory email. For example, say I were to, put you and Buck Jill together to chat, so I didn't create your messaging or whatever. But I just really see someone who's so enthusiastic, to find someone who's equally enthusiastic as you are about the sport, who just loves it, and then would just include the experiential, joy in their constant posting. And those types of resorts attract even international audiences. When I've been out there, I've volunteered a few times, and we've gotten just people coming from various countries to do his bike races, because he's, it's at the beach, or they're building trails through forests. It's really spectacular. So I really think the bike shop influencer at a resort of bike trails would be great for you.
Okay, thank you.
Zaki.
So Casey, that was really great. I love that you talked about anyone who does an outdoor sport that includes a helmet. I think that was very inclusive, and that's the way to go, man. That is definitely the way to go. So totally a positive thumbs up for me there. Here in Seattle, we have a lot of people who commute on a bicycle to work, and a lot of people use these electric bikes. So I think that's another place. I haven't heard anyone mention it. Maybe you've already looked into it, but those kind of bike shops might also be an outlet for you to get a few people. And if you're biking to work, it's an expense you can handle. It increases safety over earbuds and still get you your music. So just something to think about, but great job. I really, really love what you're doing. Thanks for presenting.
Do you know could you recommend any bike shops that are maybe more on the local scene? I've approached some locally that seem like if they're a bigger bike shop, then you know, number one, getting hold of bike store owners seems to be harder than getting hold of a CEO from the biggest company around. They're always got customers or meetings or just went out or just got it in. And but like the local ones, I've had better conversations with, and then I don't get referred to like their headquarters, you know, to do conglomerates. So if you had any contact or any recommendations for like a local bike shop in the area, that'd be awesome. I'm happy to come up to Seattle. I was just up there this last fall. But you know, I go up there and I'm like, well, there's a whole bunch of bike shops. So where do I go? So
Well, there's a local one here that makes electric bikes, and they're supposed to be, you know, like the Cadillac of electric bikes. So
Okay.
I'll look up that name and I'll make sure you get that info. Okay. I don't know them there, but I'll at least get their name to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool.
Casey, this is Hal Brookins. I'd like to ask you two questions.
Okay.
First of all, do you know, do you have a handle on your margins?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are they if you sell direct to the customer, and what are they if you sell them through a retail outlet and have a representative group representing your product?
I can say that if I go to retail, I've got up to 40% margin available, where there's still profit available for the company, where it's not, you know, sold at a loss or anything like that.
Okay.
So I feel comfortable about that, you know, doing that 40% offer. I think that's a good spot to be in for retail from what I hear.
Okay. And at that point, what are your costs relative to the 40%?
We're at,
You went dead on me.
We lost you, Casey.
40% more of that remainder.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep, it's very good. Well, there are.
I'm still learning how to talk about all that.
Okay. There are two shows that are called the Outdoor Retailer Show, and the summer one used to be in Salt Lake, and it was the largest trade show that they had, and they actually grew out of them. But this year, the winter show is, well, they're both now in Denver, and the winter show is January 27th through the 29th, and the summer show is June 15th through the 17th. That's a good place for you to, if you're strapped for cash and you can't buy a booth and demonstrate your product there, at least you should go, and there's a representative matching service that they provide, so you can find rep organizations that have the connections with the market you'd like to pursue.
Okay, thank you for that information.
Okay. Good presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. We have just a few minutes left, so we'll try to keep our questions short with a one breath sort of question and a one breath answer. So Ryan.
Thank you. Great presentation. Sorry, I'm just on audio, having some internet shenanigans over here. Casey, how many of these units do you actually have that are ready to rock?
I have the ability to produce those on demand, so I can produce up to 500 a month right now.
Okay.
I don't have a big inventory, but I can turn them around in a few days.
Gotcha. I am something of an outdoors-oriented marketing professional. I do a good deal of conversion rate optimization in Facebook ads and Google ads and stuff like that. So I'll shoot you an email here. I'd be happy to help look over this stuff with you here.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Awesome. Margesh.
Hi, Casey. This is a quick one. I was just looking at your site. First of all, congratulations. I looked at Helmet Audio. Looks like it's an area that there's a lot of interest. YouTube, there are views from tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views to a single audio, which talks about single video that talks about adding audio to helmets. So I think you're in a spot that people have a lot of interest in. That's what I gather. But when I look at your website, you got one-line testimonials. Something new like this, I'd like to go somebody deep reviews, right? Talk about all the nuances of why they're using it, how it's different from all these other things. Maybe that's what I want to surface a little bit. So somebody goes to your website, the early enthusiasts, the early adopters will get much more deeper into the product experience.
Okay. Yeah, I was originally put those on there trying to be, clean and concise, but I hear you on that. How do you feel about like doing video testimonial versus just a longer text version?
I think both, because that's what, you think of what the GoPro guys did earlier, whatever, right? There's a lot of people talking about very nuances of this simple strap to carry a camera around. That's all they started selling to surfers, right? They were selling the strap just so you can take your camera with you. It's not even a camera at that point. So anyway, just get to the very single nuance of why you're different so you can appeal to that very small niche. Video is great.
Okay, thank you.
Katie.
Oh my gosh, amazing. I just wanted to say that like I also went to your website. I think this is awesome. But I want you to also have like your videos that are on your YouTube page on your homepage. Like I want to be able to watch on your homepage, hey, what does this actually work? Because like this whole near ear audio system, I think that's probably a term that most consumers don't know what it is or what they're looking for. And so I think if you can have that up front and center, I think that'll be even stronger than like your current carousel fills up my entire screen. And I want to know there's more stuff below that faster.
Okay.
Perfect. Chris?
Perfect transition. So, because I'm a website designer, graphic designer, I completely agree with what Katie said just now about the website. So first off, logo, amazing. Typography, amazing. Photography, like this, I get the right feel and everything behind your brand. But what she's referring to is something called below the fold. And your testimonials are so important that, it's hard to test how many people are actually doing that. There's a free service called Hotspot or something. Here, I'll send you a link when I get the exact website, but it's hot something. It'll actually record all of your customers' exact mouse clicks and interactions. So you can actually see, is this performing well? Is this not? I'll send a link. I'm not affiliated. It's just something I use. It's great. And then the second part is, there's some things inside of your, there's some things you mentioned earlier inside of your actual presentation that's not on the website that I would love to see as a, just like a random viewer. And those things would be Siri integration. That was like the one thing that really hit me home. Because then you can get into more personal marketing and branding. Like with Siri integration, we're making biking easier, safer, and connecting you closer to those who you love. You know what I mean? Like we're making it safer so that you're not getting in car accidents, and so that you can see children or hear children like along the side. You know what I mean? You can something on your. I would love to have that kind of emotional targeting on the website in a specific section on the homepage. There you go.
Okay.
A great presentation. I love the product.
Thank you.
Great feedback. And last question, Jolene.
So you can hear me. Okay, so I can't find you on Facebook. If I put in Sound Helm, you don't come on Facebook for me. And I'm not sure why. It could be user error. But the other question I have for you is where are your numbers on Facebook? And you said Instagram and you're starting Pinterest. The only thing that I've been told that I do think is helpful is, trying to be on all platforms can be overwhelming and can dilute the quality of your posting. And so depending on what the demographic is, if you have time, awesome. And many of us do have time these days, but if you don't have time, focusing on the demographic is really good. But are you on Facebook as Sound Helm?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's weird. You can't find it. good to hear. I like that kind of feedback.
It came up for me right away.
It did. When I go to my search bar, it brings up 1 million cups as like your speaker. And so I'm not sure, like I said, it could be user error, but.
Are you doing one word or 2 words?
I'm doing 2 words.
Okay.
But so I mean,
I'll check into that. Thanks.
I kind of want somebody to look at my screen to see why I can't, because I'm like, if it is, but I just opened a new window and did it, and
me as well, Casey, just as a.
Okay, so it's just me. Never mind. But how many followers do you have right now?
Instagram, we've got like 630, and Facebook's around 200.
And are you doing ads or no?
I have ran ads, but I stopped doing that because something's wrong with my conversion rate on my website. So I'm trying to diagnose what that is before I start running ads again. So I've been able to drive traffic. I've gotten pretty good reach. I would feel like, I spent $100 and reached 32,000 people and had like, I don't know, ended up getting like 600 clicks.
Okay.
It's like, man, there's 600 people came through from one campaign. Okay, that's cool. But when the conversion rate is just pitiful, it's like, well, I'm not going to keep doing that until I figure out how to convert.
Yep.
It's missing on my website.
Totally. Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, thank you for presenting and everyone else for asking great questions. Casey, we have one last question for you. I guess you've already answered it before, but just to reiterate, what can the 1 Million Cups community do for you?
Yeah, I'll tell you again. I think one of the major challenges is spreading the word and getting out there that near ear audio is a thing. So if you have that conversation with anybody, send them our way. Follow us on social media, and just so that conversation helps spread. That would be very helpful. I really appreciate all your guys' instant feedback on website and all that stuff. I'm very grateful. You guys have been great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always one of those things where there's a lot of more things to work on now with with the feedback. So hopefully you can start implementing those. What can everyone else do for the 1 Million Cups community? Bring a friend next week. We are here every week at 9 a.m. on Zoom. So if you have other friends who are early stage entrepreneurs or aspiring to be, definitely bring them here to hear different ideas and also get a chance to present themselves as well, which is this slide. So go to apply if you haven't already to present your idea, and this is all you need is to try something new. You're willing to ask for help, and you want to learn by doing. Hal, you have a question?
I think he probably wants to mention that he's speaking next week from SCORE. Is that right, Hal?
That's right. I also wanted to give Casey a reference. If you haven't talked with SCORE in Salt Lake City yet, I encourage you to contact them and sign up for free mentoring. And there is one fellow, and I can't remember his name, in the Salt Lake City chapter, but he has personally brought a number of products to success through his contacts at the Home Shopping Network.
Nice.
I encourage you to talk to him.
Hal's going to be our first community connection speaker in a long time. Next week, we'll have 2 presentations happening, both one of our normal presentations, and then Hal's also going to present about SCORE, so we can learn more about all the awesome things that they do to help entrepreneurs. And this is something we're trying to start doing with any new kind of partnerships coming up. We have another one coming up in November as well. So get excited and tell your friends.
All right. Again, if you want to get involved, you can volunteer. We are looking for volunteers to help put on this event every week. Does require a lot more behind the scenes work than you think. So definitely let us know if you're interested. And now we'll break it to breakout rooms where we can do just have deeper conversations and get to meet other people. So afterwards, whenever you feel you need to go, you go after the breakout rooms. But yeah, so this will be a chance to connect with others.